Hello, and welcome to the Ragening. We have a delightful entry for you today. Super Bowl. Oh, good Norse. Roman numerals. All right. I don't know what L means. I apologize. I know I'm a Romaboo, but I don't get Roman numerals. I like the decimal system. Okay. Super Bowl LIX. Flag 50.
It's 59! L is 50, IX is 9. I've no idea what flag 50 means, though. I've never made it to 50 red flags. 1 is quite enough. Okay, so it's about flag football, which is not football. It's not even hand egg. It's certainly not man grab, but it is dive grass, kind of.
Women can't even tackle other women? That's a thing. Like flag football, you just grab a flag off of. This is something we did when we were children. And probably the school didn't want to get sued for us breaking a bone. Like, this is not an adult sport, even for adult women. Women should be able to tackle each other. Good Lord. Like, what's next? Like, you play entirely ensconced in a armor made of pillows because you're a woman? It's ridiculous. You just don't want to see women bleed. But I'm okay with that. Actually, I just realized what I just said. All right, anyway, we'll just start.
Jaworski, you're on thin ice, mister!
Hey, Principal P.
Stop kicking!
Every fictional depiction I've seen of American high schools is this saturated, upbeat, romanticized, glamorized exaggeration of reality. And it still looks nightmarish to me. Just this vapid, narcissistic chaos everywhere you look. And no one in the vicinity has the slightest interest in learning anything. I can only assume the reality is even worse. If you put me in there on a bunch of SSRIs, I'd probably go to town with a ninja sword.
Your principal, everybody's on thin ice!
How dare you use this music? How dare? Okay. That was usually used in introducing an attractive woman. Are you saying that these dudes are like really hot?
What's this? A Dorkosaurus Rex?
These are a little bit goblin-y to me, but of course it's the white dude who is the bag. Playlist never changes, really.
Come on, Chad. I don't want any trouble.
Leave him alone. I'll kick your butt, Chad.
And the nerd is a giant.
Hey, Chad. Check out the new girl.
Ew.
And of course the white chick is also the head. Yeah, actually it's interesting how the white dude is the head of the bad guys and the white chick is the head of the bad girls. Something white leadership.
If it was the other way around, they'd get complaints. I mean, complaints that they give a shit about. They've decided all of this ahead of time. They're not looking for customer feedback or even customer sales. Adverts aren't adverts anymore. They're just propaganda. Yeah, and propagandists aren't propagandists anymore. They're just advertisers. Brought to you by Raycon Shadow VPN. I don't fucking know.
What is she wearing?
Girls don't play football.
They play some abomination called flag football, which isn't football. Like, this is the great joke. It's like, oh, let's celebrate women in football playing incredibly pussified version of the game, even against each other, that doesn't involve tackling, that we usually reserve for like elementary school kids. But yeah, women play football. Yet, no, they don't. Even according to you, they don't. They can't even play it against each other.
They do where I'm from.
Get a load of this one. Think fast!
Waffle House girl did it better.
You think fast.
So he's testing her skills, and she returns with a sexual assault. Yeah, it's pretty typical for a world that really doesn't know what the hell it's talking about when it comes to the genders.
And she hit the wrong guy. She had a wide open net from 3 feet away and she still banked it by a mile. Something of an acerbic stereotype when it comes to women in sports, but again, they didn't get any complaints that they care about. I don't think anyone noticed. Because they were too busy clapping like trained seals for the nut shot there. Kind of indicates that this isn't about empowering women. It's about something else.
Right in the Jimmy Johnson.
This ain't over.
Yeah, actually, he's got a point. So he throws a ball at you with maybe a bit of rakish competition, and you return by sexually assaulting someone. And I'm supposed to be on your side? And once again, no, you don't play football. You play flag football.
Is it acceptable if it's a genuine mistake? Well, just for good measure, fag.
We just getting started, Chad.
And again, if this was a real person, why would he care? You basically just went up to him and said, girls can play football, and then brought out your lacrosse stick, which incidentally, actually, girls can't play either. I don't know. You brought out your ribbon for your ribbon dancing. Girls can totally play football. Look at this ribbon that I twirl. Like, all right, let's see where this goes.
Let's go, let's go! Get down, get down.
I'm sorry. She's like, girls can play football. Look at me in my little Velcro straps.
Come on, there you go. Yeah.
Ooh, little girl bad.
Firstly, are we just going to skip over the B story where Lenny Kravitz builds a time machine and gets the 80s confused with the 50s? Secondly, bro, all they're doing is catching the hand egg. That's it. I know next to nothing about this game, but surely there's more to it than that. Surely. I'm talking about actual hand egg now.
Why would he? He's like, oh, I can't believe they're playing this elementary version of the sport that I play at a probably on almost professional level. Why would he care? You're still not playing football. Like things that never happen. I'll take it for 200, Alex.
Oh!
That wasn't a tackle. One woman ran her hand around the hips of another woman. Oh, that's so brutal. You know what? I'm going to do something. This guy, I'm going to just, he's going to just, if he were able to see me do this, he would just be like, wow, mine would be blown at how awesomely aggressive I am. See, watch. Look at this. I'm going to squish this cat. Squish. Huh? Yeah, squish. This guy's going to be going, oh, man, she's tearing that kitty apart.
Enough! Let's settle this once and for all. Your best guy?
Girl.
Whatever. Versus our best guy. The Brad.
Okay, I'm removing one sin just for the mullet. That is a masterpiece.
Oh, not the Brad.
Will there ever be a men's hairstyle that people historically look back on and think, yeah, that was fine. Nothing wrong with that. Bald. I think just clean shaven. It's the only option. Or just wear a hat.
If they were actually playing football, this would never occur. Well, why don't you just have it versus a trans woman. We'll just really blow this shit up. Like, you don't even need Brad. Just put a trans woman on this field. Almost a man's strength and a woman's entire immunity to beating the crap out of other women. Perfect combination.
I'm Brad.
I can read.
Actually, come to think of it. All right, so this is about a biological female being better at sports than a biological male, right? But considering that trans women are closer to biological men, isn't this transphobic? She's essentially a cis woman saying that she could beat the crap out of a trans woman. It's like watching a dad let a kid win. I'm deliberately avoiding catching it. Oh, I won. Right.
There you go. You got folded up, Brad.
Get her!
It's like a fucking cartoon. Eliminate her! They just can't stand women in sports.
Get her!
Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
And also, why is it an achievement if she's been training to play flag football that these guys who haven't been are deliberately avoiding grabbing her?
Oh, it's Nike. It's not supposed to be a Nike commercial, but look, it is. Huh. How is this going to help us sell books? Yeah, no. Like I said, there's no one left in that boardroom who still thinks they're trying to sell anything. They have already been paid. Probably by the taxpayer.
Oh, so that's what it is. They want to start this really... And also, could these girls not be athletic? It looks like a sport with an incredible amount of running. And yet, they don't look like runners. At least not to me. But, I mean, I'm not saying that they're fat. They just seem a little bit pokey, you know? I wouldn't put myself in such a situation. Let's put it that way.
Well, I was about to say, American football players, much like rugby players, are usually quite chunky, quite robust. But that's because they need to tackle each other.
Okay, so they've taken a sport that we used to play in elementary school because they didn't want kids beating on each other. Like, literally, that's what it is. Like, they didn't want kids tackling and getting into fights. So they put little freaking Velcro strips on us and said, okay, that's all you do. You just pull the thing off. They took a sport for children, deliberately for children. They gave it to adult women. And now they're trying to say it's better than adult sport played by natural athletes. Well, men are natural athletes. Let's make girls flag football a varsity sport in all 50 states. Let's not. Okay? They can play regular football against each other. There's nothing stopping women tackling other women. Except cowardice and lowered expectations.
No, it's men. It's men's fault. Everything is. That's what they believe. It's all they believe. It's what they are paid to make you believe. That's why they don't empower women. They just humiliate men. Or they try to. And if you don't let them steal your money and spend it on the ritual humiliation of men, they will burn your fucking cars.
So I'm going to look at the comments. All right, let's see what we got here. NFL has the balls to leave the comment section open, but pretty soon it won't have the funding to do so. Did Netflix make this? This looks like a parody you might see on Comedy Central back in the old days when they were funny. I want to see the downvotes. 3.6K upvotes, probably all astroturfed. 11,000 downvotes. Doesn't hit Snow White levels. 2017 called it once it's stunning and brave back. Did anyone check the cost of this ad? At about $8 million per 30 seconds. Those 2 minutes should have cost about $32 million. And they want you to donate money towards the cause of establishing girls' touch football as a varsity sport. Why didn't they spend $32 million on that?
Because they don't want to establish women's sport. The only reason they want to give a football to a woman is so she can throw it at a man's junk. I realise that's exactly the kind of thing we would say, but it's the only way to make any sense of this baffling excuse for an advert.
This has to be the lamest backhanded self-own I've ever seen. Women cannot play football. They can't even play football with each other. What? Okay.
Indeed, they don't care how many women they throw under the bus, as long as there's an outside chance that it temporarily annoys the men on the bus. Even if turns out to be a bus full of women, they'll just go like, fuck it. Maybe it'll inconvenience a man somewhere in the world. Maybe one of those women had a baby boy she just miscarried. We did that. It was us, and it was worth it.
NFL might be getting paid with that USAID's money. Yeah. Yeah. Ranan783 says, who thought humiliating men in an ad destined to football lovers, majority men, would be a good idea? Weren't there any other ideas? I'm correcting his grammar, but I don't think this humiliates men, my dear.
But it might. My dear, it might. That is the entirety of the point. $32 million is nothing. Trillions of dollars have been spent on making women miserable and furious and terrified, turning them into ridiculous, insufferable embarrassments. All in the splattershot conjecture that it will make men feel guilty and hopeless and neutered. And to some extent, it's working, if not directly. When you steal trillions of people's hard-earned dollars, it does tend to piss them off a little bit, no matter what you spend it on. The moral of the story is, I don't bloody know. But maybe keep your chin up and your head held high and don't let the bastards grind you down. And watch the skies in the meantime to see if a great deal of this propaganda mysteriously disappears over the next couple of years. That'd be nice, to get some indication that this hasn't all been in vain. You're watching Honey Badger Radio. Well, someone is, I think. God bless you, whoever you are. And good night out there. Whatever you are.